everyone, Daria here, and welcome to episode 94 of the Slow Russian Language Podcast. Last time I promised you that we're gonna keep talking about space program, so of course we start with the biography of one of the most famous people of Russia. I'm talking about Yuri Gagarin, of course. Before we start, a little bit of housekeeping in Real Russian Club. First of all, I have a new website, finally. So, if you want to participate in my premium Russian language courses, you are more than welcome on my website, realrussiancourses.com. It's one word without spaces, without dashes, realrussiancourses.com. If you purchased something before, don't worry, the old website stays the same, but for something new, please try the new website. And also, I have added different t-shirts, mugs, all that good stuff from the old site to the new one as well. So go check it out, especially if you like the Soviet Union culture. You can check out the Hammer and Sickle collection. So I will be happy to see you there. The link will be in the show notes as usual. Okay, enough talking. Now I read the text in slow Russian, and then we translate it sentence by sentence as always. Here we go. Кто был первым человеком в космосе? Первым человеком в космосе был Юрий Гагарин. Он родился 9 марта 1934 года в деревне Клушино, рядом с городом Гжатском. Сейчас этот город называется Гагарин. В 1950-е годы Юрий учился в Первом Военном авиационном училище лётчиков. Как он стал космонавтом? Работать с космической техникой могли только особые кандидаты, профессионалы, абсолютно здоровые, дисциплинированные. Гагарина выбрали из 20 человек. 12 апреля 1961 года Юрий Гагарин стал первым человеком в мировой истории, который совершил полет в космос. На корабле «Восток-1» он провел в космосе 108 минут. 12 апреля в России – национальный праздник – День космонавтики. That was it for the text. I tried to make it as simple as possible, so let's translate it and try to find some interesting vocabulary. Here we go back to the first sentence. And actually we start with a question. Who was the first person in space? Кто был первым человеком в космосе? We have two different cases here. Remember that with the verb to be, быть, very often we use instrumental case. To be a pilot, быть пилотом. To be a teacher, быть учителем. To be a sportsman, быть спортсменом, and so on. So he was the first human, the first person. In Russian, it's человек, so in instrumental, человеком. Он был первым человеком, and then we have location, where? In space, в космосе. Space in Russian is космос, so prepositional case, в космосе. And then we answer this question. The first man in space was Yuri Gagarin. Первым человеком в космосе был Юрий Гагарин. He was born on March 9, 1934, in the village of Klушino, near the town of Gžatsk. Okay, let's divide it into parts. First the date, second the place. He was born on March 9, 1934. Он родился 9 марта 1934 года. I hope you are familiar with how to work with numerals in Russian, how to form dates. So we name each level of them. 1,000, 900, 30, and 4. So it's a little bit different from English. 1934. Он родился. He was born. So in English, it's passive voice, to be born by your mom. In Russian, we use the active verb. So as if you were kind of birthing yourself to this world. Родиться. Родиться. Remember these reflexive verbs, we have this ся in the ending. So it's doing something yourself or to yourself. So you see, Russian babies are super active, even giving birth to themselves. Родиться. He was born. Он родился. In the village Клушино. В деревне Клушино. So деревня is a village, countryside, out of the city. Деревня. В деревне, prepositional case, Клушино. Near the town of Gžatsk, or next to the town of Gžatsk. Рядом с городом Гжатском. After рядом, near to, next to, we use instrumental case again. Now the city is called Гагарин. Сейчас этот город называется Гагарин. So it was named after Gagarin later. And actually, each and every Russian city has at least something named after Gagarin. In Moscow, we have a street, we have a square, we have a subway station named after him. We have everything. In Omsk, where I lived the first part of my life, we had a bridge named after Gagarin. Most Gagarina. The next part. In the 1950s, Yuri studied at the first military aviation pilot school. That's an interesting sentence. В 1950-е годы Юрий учился в Первом Военном авиационном училище лётчиков. So many words here. Let's break it down a little bit. First goes the date. 1950s. But again, we use it word by word. 1000, 900, 900, 50-е, 50s. He studied, он учился, past tense, учился, this l indicates past tense. And where? We use it in prepositional case again. В первом, in the first. Military, военном. Again, it's in prepositional case. The nominative would be военный. Военный, military. I hope you can understand the word авиационный. Aviation, right? Aviation. In Russian, it would be авиация, and as an adjective, we turn it to авиационный. Училище I guess in English you would say a school. However, it's a little different in Russian. A school in Russia is usually a place where children have to go like mandatory. The first level of education, children go there for 10 years, and after that they can choose where to go to college, to university, to academy. But also we have an училище. Училище. There you can go after the 9th grade. You don't have to stay up until 11th grade. So at the age of 15 or sometimes even 14, you can go and continue your education at училище. But I guess in English you just say pilot school. In Russian, училище лётчиков. Pilot in Russian, of course, can be пилот, but also we have a word formed from the verb to fly, летать, лётчик, летать, лётчик. So the stem, лет, лёт, it stays the same. Okay, moving on. How did he become an astronaut? Как он стал космонавтом? To be, to become, again, we use instrumental case. Космонавтом. Of course, we do have the word astronaut. Астронавт. Астронавт. But the word космонавт comes from the word space. Космос. It's a very old Russian word, so I guess very frequently we would say космонавт rather than астронавт. Космонавт. Only special candidates could work with space technology. Professionals, absolutely healthy, disciplined. The Russian version, we start with the verb, so it would literally be to work with space technology could only special candidates. Remember, word order in Russian is very flexible. So here comes the verb. Работать с космической техникой, to work with, and then we have instrumental case, space technology, космической техникой, could only special candidates. Могли только особые кандидаты. Special, we do have the word специальный, but I think it's more suitable to use the word особый. Особый. Basically, it's the same thing. So, what's so special about them? Professionals. Профессионалы. Профессионалы. Absolutely healthy. Абсолютно здоровые. Healthy in Russian is здоровые. Disciplined. Дисциплинированные. A little bit longer than in English. However, you hear the similarity. Discipline, disciplina. Almost the same. And actually here, all three words. Professionals, профессионалы. Absolutely, абсолютно. Disciplined, дисциплинированные. So we have a lot in common. Okay, then we have a little bit of passive voice. Gagarin was chosen from among 20 people. Gagarina, accusative case, because here he is an object of somebody else's choice. So we would put his name into accusative. Гагарина выбрали из 20 человек. So he was chosen from 20 other candidates. On April 12, 1961, Yuri Gagarin became the first person in world history to fly into space. 12 апреля 1961 года Юрий Гагарин стал первым человеком в мировой истории, который совершил полет в космос. This is a very long one, but actually nothing new here, because again we have he became the first man, стал первым человеком, we have a date, and in world history, в мировой истории, prepositional case. And in English we say who flied, who could fly. In Russian we say he actually performed the fly. Совершил полет. Sounds more, I don't know, fancy. Совершил полет в космос. Космos here is in accusative case because we speak about direction. He's not in space yet. He's flying there. So that's, I hope you know the difference between prepositional and accusative case. But just in case you forgot, location, you're already somewhere. For example, я в университете. I am at the university right now. I am inside the building. Or I'm walking to my university. Я иду в университет. Here we don't change the ending. We use accusative case here. We're only going there, so it's our destination. I know it sounds confusing, so just look up prepositional accusative, refresh your memory. And we are almost at the end. On the Vostok 1 spacecraft, he spent 108 minutes in space. На корабле Vostok-1 он провел в космосе 108 минут. Vostok-1, the name of the ship, it actually means east. So Vostok is east, west is запад, north is север, and south is юг. So his spacecraft was east. Vostok-1. And he spent 108 minutes in space. And actually, I think somewhere in 2011, a lot of documents about this first flight into space, they were finally not top secret anymore. So we have a lot more information now. And I think it was actually 106 minutes. And it was really significant because of this super space race between the USSR and the United States, as always. Eternal rivals even today, unfortunately. And this is amazing, actually, his flight. It's literally, it was the first time when a human being went to space. So nobody knew what exactly to expect. And the insides of the ship, they were organized the way to prevent all kinds of tragedies if he loses his mind, because nobody could know in advance how human brain and how he would react to the new situation. So if you're interested, look him up on Wikipedia or Britannica or anything. It's like a really, really interesting story. His life was tragic and he died really early at the age of 34, unfortunately, and there are many, many conspiracy theories about his death. Some say that he just gained too much power, he was too popular, because he was not just Russian, the Soviet hero, he was a hero in the entire world. He visited dozens and dozens of countries, and he was a public speaker and then a politician. So some people say that somebody got really scared of his popularity and influence, so they just wanted him out. And unfortunately, he died. He died in one of his normal aviation flights, and even today, still, it's top secret, and the details of that catastrophe are still not known. So maybe later we will finally know the truth. Anyways, the last sentence of this text is April 12th in Russia is a national holiday, Cosmonautics Day. 12 апреля в России национальный праздник. День космонавтики. So, national holiday, национальный праздник. On this day, we commemorate Gagarin, commemorate the opening of space. It's amazing. It's amazing. I really like this holiday. I love to go to the space museums and everything. Now, as always, I'm going to read this text one more time, a little bit faster, so hopefully the second time you will be able to understand a little bit more. Here we go. Кто был первым человеком в космосе? Первым человеком в космосе был Юрий Гагарин. Он родился 9 марта 1934 года в деревне Клушино, рядом с городом Гжатском. Сейчас этот город называется Гагарин. В 1950-е годы Юрий учился в Первом военном авиационном училище лётчиков. Как он стал космонавтом? Работать с космической техникой могли только особые кандидаты, профессионалы, абсолютно здоровые, дисциплинированные. Гагарина выбрали из 20 человек. 12 апреля 1961 года Юрий Гагарин стал первым человеком в мировой истории, который совершил полет в космос. На корабле «Восток-1» он провел в космосе 108 минут. 12 апреля в России – национальный праздник, День космонавтики. That was it for the text. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget that I put the full transcript in Russian and the English translation in the show notes. So check it out if you missed something or if you want to practice and read this text out loud yourself. That would be a wonderful practice for you. So open the show notes. And again, if you are interested in learning Russian with me, please visit my website, realrussiancourses.com. realrussiancourses.com. In one word, Real Russian Courses. I have a lot of stuff there. I have several ebooks, 600 Russian phrases, Russian slang, From Zero to Fluency workbook, Russian vocabulary booster. So go and check it out. I'll be really happy to see you among my students this summer. And that was it for today. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you in the next episode of the Slow Russian Language Podcast. Bye-bye.